During the last few years of the COVID pandemic, we've all become rather obsessed with washing our hands. It's become a near Pavlovian response for me. The hygiene benefits of hand washing were first demonstrated by Ignaz Semmelweis in 1847, when he found that hand washing with a chlorinated lime solution could dramatically improve the health of women and babies on maternity wards. However, hand washing in medical contexts didn't become widespread for 60 years after this discovery, and it wasn't codified into standard medical practice until the earliest 20th century. So we have to ask, why did it take so long to adopt this fresh idea? Okay, I know that was a spurious example, but I like to start with spurious examples. I like to start with something really accessible for everyone to understand the serious ToK stuff, and we'll get serious later on. But before we do get serious, let me just tell you that if you want to get the free download notes for this video, then just keep watching. I'll tell you how to get them at the end of the video. And if you want to get super detailed essay notes, which have like really great real life examples for this essay, and they've got lots of knowledge arguments, evaluations, implications, all that good ToK stuff, then the link is in the video description to go to toktoday.com. Okay, let's get less spurious and get more serious. Okay, now obviously when you're writing this essay, you're going to be thinking about what constitutes a fresh idea. And this definition could be given at the beginning of the essay, but it would be better developed as being part of the knowledge arguments within your essay. Fresh ideas can be thought of in a number of ways. Obviously, it could be a new idea within the discipline or area of knowledge, but you could also argue that it could be a new method for producing knowledge, a new interpretation of existing knowledge, a new application of existing knowledge, maybe in a new context, etc., etc. And you also have to deal with the proposition within the prescribed title, which is that nothing is more exciting than a fresh idea. Now, this is an absolute statement, and it should be explicitly dealt with within the essay. When you consider this proposition, you'll be compelled to think about what is meant by the term exciting. You may want to consider this in ToK terms, in which excitement could be thought of as ways of producing knowledge, development of new or unexpected knowledge, or insights into previously unsolved problems. For AoK human sciences, and any other AoK, there are common, general and obvious reasons why we might be slow to adopt fresh ideas. These could include the vested interests of knowledge producers and knowers in pre-existing knowledge and methodologies, and the culture and values framework of the area of knowledge, the knowledge producers and the knowers. The relatively scant evidence for the fresh idea in comparison to pre-existing knowledge, or the limited dissemination methods available for a fresh idea. Now, it could be instructive that we're directed towards the human sciences. The human sciences are relatively new in comparison to the natural sciences, and as such they are frequently dealing with fresh ideas and new insights and new perspectives. One of the approaches to the question in the human sciences could be to consider that fresh ideas can challenge not only pre-existing knowledge, but the scope, methods and tools, perspectives and ethics of pre-existing human science disciplines. For example, the growth of behavioural economics during the mid to late 20th century merges two pre-existing disciplines, that's economics and psychology, into a new perspective and possibly even a new discipline. Behavioural economics is an example that certainly causes interest, controversy and possibly even excitement for economists and psychologists. I'm going to stay with psychology, and we're going to look at advances in neurological sciences and neuroimaging, which have led to a rapid advance in biopsychology and its sub-related disciplines. As we follow this line of discussion in the human sciences, we start to see a trend that fresh ideas can disrupt pre-existing knowledge, its organisation and classification. A new definition of the term exciting emerges. Exciting could be linked to the development of the discipline itself. One of the approaches to this question could be to consider it in terms of the evolution of knowledge. Now, an evolutionary approach to knowledge gives us an interesting perspective on this question. Evolution is predicated upon mutations presenting better adaptation to changes in the external environment, and therefore increased survival and reproduction rates. In terms of knowledge, this could be thought of as fresh ideas, i.e. mutations, giving us better knowledge for changes in the things that knowledge explains or describes. In turn, this gives us interesting evaluation points, or other points of view. If we wanted to argue that we're not slow to adopt all fresh ideas in all contexts, we could consider the instances when fresh ideas are readily or quickly adopted. The reasons why there may be rapid adoption of these fresh ideas, the differences of context between the slow and fast adoption of fresh ideas. In doing so, we might be considering the functional need for knowledge. In evolutionary terms, this is called the adaptive fitness of knowledge. And this gives us opportunity for further evaluation points. One of the big challenges for evolutionary theory is to explain the direction of causality. This is often called the chicken and egg problem. And let's briefly look at issues of causality as evaluation and implication points in this essay. We can critically consider where these fresh ideas come from. Are they the result of changes in the external environment, or do they change that environment? What do we mean by external environment? Is this the real world as opposed to the ToK world? So there's a direction of causality issue that could be considered here. Further, this gives us more potential for unpacking the term excitement. Excitement in this scenario could be seen as a disruption or friction between pre-existing knowledge and the external world, or in ToK terms, an unexplained phenomenon in that world. Which brings us neatly to the idea of trying to roughly model this knowledge world, which could be characterized as known knowns, known unknowns, and unknown unknowns. Again, it's a rather crude typology, but it helps us to have a different approach to the concept of fresh ideas. The potential length of a video discussing ToK Essay 3, May 24, is in itself an unknown unknown. So I'm going to wrap this up here, because I know that DP students are busy people. If you want a free video download, as I mentioned at the beginning, then see the link in the video description. You give me your email, I give you some free notes. If you want more detailed notes, like really great detailed notes with knowledge arguments, real life examples, evaluations, implications, the whole works, all that good ToK stuff, then pick up the essay notes from toktoday.com in the video description. Okay. I hope that you found this overview useful, and if you did, then I would appreciate a like. And I'd be really grateful if you would consider subscribing here to ToK Today for loads more great ToK resources. For more help and support, go to toktoday.com. Thank you very much for watching. Stay talktastic, my friends. Bye.